guys, welcome back. This week's Tutorial Tuesday is a continuation of my one brand tutorial series, and the brand of the day is Makeup Geek. I have used Makeup Geek eyeshadows as face products. So my contour, my bronzer, my blush, my highlighter, all Makeup Geek eyeshadows actually. And then of course most of the eye products I used are also Makeup Geek. You can also use Makeup Geek eyeshadows for your brows, and I even used an eyeshadow as my lipstick. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, keep watching. So I did already do my foundation and concealer just to speed things up. I also have 3 Makeup Geek brushes to use, so I'll be using those when I have them. So the color Barcelona Beach is like a cool tone brown. This would work as a contour for like medium skin. If you have lighter skin, you could use something like Purely Naked. It's a little bit of a lighter brown, more of a bronzy, a warmer tone brown. So I'm actually going to try that one. This is a Crown Angled Blush Brush as my contour slash bronzer today. Now that I've got that like streak going, I'm kind of blending it out. I don't want anything harsh because the star of the show today is going to be that silver shadow on the lid. I think the color Purely Naked is one that I use more for my face than for my eyes, which is funny because it's an eyeshadow. But I hear Marlena from Makeup Geek is working on contour powders and concealers and all kinds of stuff. So there will be a full line of Makeup Geek products eventually. So I'm actually going to go into Barcelona Beach just a little bit and use that. That gives like a more intense contour. See how that like really carved it out? But because I use the same brush, the other product is still on here, so I'm kind of blending them together. Alright, and then for blush, I'm going to be using Makeup Geek's Cupcake, which I think is a really cute name, first of all. Like, if I had a makeup line, I think that would be one of the most fun parts of having a company, is being able to name the products myself. Okay. There are two eyeshadows that I could really go for. So this is Cupcake, and it is a pinky color. The light's kind of washing it out. It's a pinky, like mauve color. And then this is Mango Tango. So if you're into more of the peachy pinks, you could totally do either one. I'm going to do Cupcake today. This is the Jessup Tapered Face Brush. It's just a big old fluffy brush, but actually, no, it's too big. Because that brush was so big, I'm going to switch. This is the It Cosmetics Highlighter Brush, Highlight and Define. This is like a smaller blush brush, so that's why it's harder to fit your brush into a small powder if it's big like that. So this is Cupcake going on my cheeks. And it is kind of a matte or a satin finish, so it's not real shimmery, there's no glitter or anything. I think it looks really pretty. And then for highlighter, I have a few that I like to use from Makeup Geek. I do really enjoy using Cinderella if I want like a pink highlight. It's kind of like a frosty, shimmery pink. But if I want a warm one, I do like Shimma Shimma, which is this one right here. It's like a, just dropped it. It's more of a like white shimmery shade. And then there are golden ones too if you like that. So I'm going to use Cinderella, and I'm going to apply that with the Real Techniques brush. And it's kind of like a more subtle highlight, but you can see it, right? And I'm taking that right up by the tail of the brow. Now, Makeup Geek does sell blushes, but, you know, I don't own them, so I'm going to make my own. So this highlight, like I said, is very subtle. If you want it more intense, I would go into Shimma Shimma. I just applied Shimma Shimma to my blush brush. Now you can see the difference. Like, Shimma Shimma gives you that, like, Becca highlight kind of look. Alright, so I've already primed my eyes using my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, And now I'm going to lay down instead of Peach Smoothie, which is what I usually use the second one in. I'm actually going to try Beaches and Cream today. The two are very similar. I'm using the Makeup Geek Soft Dome brush, and it's just a kind of a fluffy brush. I'm applying that pretty high, almost to the brow bone, above the crease and in the crease. So I really can't see this color on myself, which is why I tend not to use it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. If I'm not going to be able to see it, I'm like, why am I applying it? I will use this shade to set my eye primer sometimes. Like I'll use it all over the lid because it is pretty close to my skin tone. I mean, it's the first one there. Right here. Anyway, so I wanted to try two of my new Makeup Geek eyeshadows. This is Rapunzel, and this one is Babyface. So Rapunzel is more of a like slightly shimmery golden white color. It's definitely got some gold to it. And then Babyface in comparison is a lot more white and less yellow. This is Babyface. And Babyface is more of a matte and Rapunzel is more of a shimmery color. So I'm going to try Rapunzel using the Makeup Geek pencil brush, which is a really tiny pencil brush. I'm going to put, I'm going to put Babyface under the brow bone. It's a very soft brow bone highlight, like that perfect bone or cream color. I think that Ice Queen is a little bit too harsh from her line for a brow highlight. If you have anything darker than my skin, probably it's like a little too much. But this one seems like it would be the good brow bone highlight shade for people with medium to darker skin because it's not really white. It's like an off-white cream shade. Perfect for me. So that really lifts your brows and makes your brows look a little bit more up and lifted. And now I'm going to go in with the color Rapunzel, and I'm going to place that with the same brush on the inner corner of the eye as kind of a eye highlight. This Rapunzel might be a really pretty highlighter too, now that I think about it. I wish I'd used that. I'd love to see how that works. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with the Makeup Geek Soft Dome brush, and I'm going to apply the shade that's going to go above the lid shade. Instead of Creme Brulee, which is the one I always use in my tutorials, I'm going to be using Frappe, which is like a brown color. And this one is called Country Girl, and it's like a mauve-y color. So I may mix the two, but kind of see how they're different. One is more brown, one is more mauve. So I really need to take a light hand though. I don't want anything dark. So putting this a little bit lower than I put the other color, than I put Babyface and Beaches and Cream. Keeping it a little bit more on the lid and just in the crease. Alright, now we are ready for the shade Charmed. This is the foiled eyeshadow in Charmed. And it is gorgeous. When I first hauled it, I thought it was silver. I swatched it, I thought it was silver. But I kind of had a hard time describing the color. I was like, silver? Is it silver? No, it's kind of gray. No, it's silver. No, it's silver. It's not a duochrome. This is just a foiled eyeshadow. But I just pulled up the description of it on my phone from the Makeup Geek website. They call it a muted, silvery, light olive with taupe undertones and a foiled finish. Light, muted, silvery olive. So that's why I had a hard time describing it. It's very pretty. From my experience, these apply best with your fingers, but I'm going to try it with a brush because I want to spritz it with some MAC Fix Plus. So first I'm using it dry, and I'm just tapping that on the lid. Ooh, that's pretty. It's really pretty. You can kind of see that it's more pale green. Okay, now that we've seen it with just the eyeshadow, now I'm going to spray the brush. And we're going to see how much more like foiled it looks. You tell a difference this amount of foiled versus this one? Just kind of ups it a notch. Kind of just patting it because, like I said, these aren't real good with a brush, but I wanted to wet it, so. Alright, now I need to put a darker color in my outer V and crease to finish the eye look off. For that, I'm using the Makeup Geek Defined Crease Brush. It's just a really small little brush, and I'll show you how small it is. Do you see how it just kind of fits perfectly in that groove? It's just like tiny. In comparison, this is the soft dome brush that I used as my like transition shade color, and this is the Defined Crease Brush. Do you see the size difference? It's a lot smaller. So, I think today I'm going to use the shade Burlesque. This is very similar to Bitten. Here's Burlesque. It is a kind of a cranberry purple plum color. It's slightly satin. And then this is Bitten, which is very similar, but it's the matte version. I'm going to try Burlesque because I feel like everybody loves Bitten, everybody talks about Bitten, but nobody ever talks about Burlesque. So I'm going to talk about it because I really like this color. So this one does have fallout. You have to kind of tap off your excess on your brush. And then I'm going to place the brush right in the crease. And this is my first time using this brush, so I wanted to definitely try it out and let you guys know if they're any good. I know I like the ones I have, so I'm just placing that in the crease and like I'm actually taking all the way in. And then I'm going to define the outer V area, just like instead of brushing my brush back and forth, I'm brushing it downwards towards the lashes from the outer part of the eye. And don't worry, I will blend that, and then I will also go back in with the lid shade and touch that up as needed. So I'm going to take what's left on that brush, and I'm going to drag that down onto the lower lash line. And then I'm going in with the transition shade brush, and I'm blending out that line, kind of putting a lighter color slightly below it. And I'm doing this before I blend the upper lash line because I know my brush is about to get super dirty from all the blending. So I figure I'll do it before I get the dark color on there. And now I'm blending the upper part of the eye. And I'm using a little bit of Beaches and Cream on there. And I also will probably go into Country Girl and Frappe to blend that out. I'm wiping that brush off on my Always Off makeup cloth. And now I'm going back into Beaches and Cream. So the look kind of took a turn for the pink on the top of the upper lash line. And so I'm going to reapply that olive color, the olivey silver on the lid, and I think that's going to really make the lid pop again. So back to the flat brush and Charmed. Do you see how that like really pops again now that I touched it up? I'm going to take that brush, the Defined Crease brush, and I'm tapping it into Corrupt, the black shade. And I'm just kind of like pointing it right at the outer V at the place I want it to be the darkest. Tap. And then I'm stepping away from the black shadow because that shadow is so intense. And now I'm blending. Today I'm applying this e.l.f. liner. This is waterproof eyeliner pen and it's the shade Teal. I think these are an amazing deal. So it's just a skinny little tip brush. And they're really pigmented. And they last a long time. I mean, that really like took this eye look up a notch. Back into the foiled shadow, and I'm going to touch up the lid again because I want it to pop more than the liner. If I get a little bit of the foiled shadow on top of the liner, that's okay. I think it actually looks kind of cool. Like, I'm not doing it on purpose, but I think that the two layered together looks neat, so I'm not going to like stop it from happening. Alright, now I'm going to be applying some mascara. I'll be right back. Alright, so I think I want to put something on the lower waterline, like a pop of color in there. So let's think what would look good. I'm going to use Hunter Green. This is a liner by Tarte. Okay, so that really smokes it out. Now I'm going to use some of these eyeshadows as a lipstick. First I'm applying some of my cherry chapstick, which if you've been watching me for a long time, you know that's like my favorite thing in life. It's one of my favorite beauty products ever. Now I'm going to use my fingers and the color Country Girl, the eyeshadow, and I'm just going to tap that on and blend it in. If you didn't want to go this brown, you could totally do Cupcake or Mango Tango again. Maybe one of the more purple shades if you're adventurous. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you enjoy some bright colors and have fun playing with your Makeup Geek products. Thanks for watching. Bye.